What's up, guys? This is Burton Hughes. Today we're at Texas Superbikes. We're going to be dropping off my 2025 Honda Grom, and I'm also going to show you inside because we have a project we've been working on the last few months. I think you'll be interested to see that. All right, so today we're at Texas Superbikes. I got Alex, basically he's the owner. So this is a combination. It's Texas Superbikes and Jack's. That's the newest Jack's Wax location, I believe.
North Dallas. Yep.
So we got my 2025 Grom. It's a 125cc. I think it's Honda's best-selling motorcycle currently. And I've got a box of goodies. We got Alex here today. He's done several builds on these, so obviously he does all the work on my bike. So on this, we got a big bore kit. We got some other goodies in here. I think at this point, I've spent more on parts than I actually paid for the motorcycle itself, which isn't uncommon with these. So we'll just go through the box. I want to get this on there. And then when we're finished with this, you may see something in the background that intrigues you.
So just like every other one of his bikes, we got a plethora of parts, you know.
He knows.
All the way from the basics to, you know, clip-ons, bars, ASV levers,
clutch and brake.
Clutch and brake, air filters.
So this one here, to get more air into the motorcycle, we're actually adding a big bore kit. I'll probably show you that. But this is the, this is the performance air intake.
So on the new Groms, he probably would have done the 181, which is the bigger bore, but we could only go up to like a 151. It was 151, right?
149.
149, so yeah, like a 150. And that's what we got in here. So we got a bigger bore, bigger cylinder. Get a couple more ponies out of it. Be able to get race through the pits faster.
Yeah, basically this started out as a pit bike, something fun, but then just like anything, I can't leave leave anything stock. Just can't do it.
We got the oil cooler kit. So keep it cooler, you know, with the button.
That's the thing is, a lot of times when you start adding more horsepower, the cooling then becomes the issue. And that's where a lot of people mess up. So you hear about people like blowing their engines, this and that. It's because it gets too hot. So with this, always consult with Alex, but always make sure that we get the right parts. It's not about just throwing in and hoping for the best. It's making sure that the parts are necessary. And really, again, heat is always going to be an issue when you're adding more power. So better safe than sorry. We don't want to detonate this little engine.
Yep. With that comes tuning. A lot of the big issues with them, when you do tune them, they need a lot more fuel added to them. And that's just, even with this 151, you know, it's a little bit bigger. The 181s require a lot more, but we'll be getting either a Power Commander or a Racer standalone, so we can manipulate all that.
Just to give you an idea, this thing tops out at 59 miles an hour. When we put this big bore kit on there, it's going to be over 100 miles per hour gain. So I'm not exactly sure where that translates to horsepower, but that's a substantial difference on miles per hour. Again, this is just a pit bike, but adding a little bit more power to this is definitely going to make it, it's definitely not going to hurt. You already know that. So in a lot of the comments, I was asking like what bikes I should do a review on next. And people are asking me like, you should get this. Well, I already have the motorcycle that most of you have been saying that I need to buy or do a review on. So over here, I'm gonna show it to you. It's my 2022 Honda CBR1000RR-R SP 30th anniversary. That's a mouthful, I know, but it might be the best looking motorcycle that I have. I go back and forth, but with this one, same as this box of goodies, we share no expense. I'm gonna pull Alex over on that one because I honestly think I'm gonna forget everything that we've done to it. All right, Alex.
All right.
The list is long on this one. I've probably forgotten.
Just like you said, probably forgot everything you did, but
I've probably forgotten everything that we've done to this, but we'll go through it. This means a lot to me. In 1992, when I was a little boy, the 1992 Honda CBR 900, it had this same kind of red, white, and blue and like that kind of graphics. It almost has like an 80s kind of retro look to it. But when this came out, it was a very limited run because the RRR Honda CBR is already a limited run, but this one specifically was the 30 year. I had to have it. Just had to have it.
We got it covered, but it would have showed the.
Yeah, it would have shown the number
and
the number, which I actually forget, but I have to look at my paperwork. But I'll leave it up to Alex, kind of run through. We'll probably tag team some of the things that we've done to this, but like I said, this one is amazing. And then after this, I'm gonna do kind of a point of view ride along, that way you can experience what it is to ride this one. All right, Alex, so let's just start at the front of this bike and just work our way back. Since we have so many things to go through, we'll just make it easy and front to back. So starting on the front, we got the carbon fiber intake, cooling brake covers.
Brake cooler ducts, yep.
Sorry, yeah.
We got some light tech wheel sliders. We got carbon on the front piece over here. You have to kind of see here, but we got the winglets as well. And where these areas is kind of specific, where a lot of people have actually seen them and been like, wow, you got these in carbon too. We got these in here. We got the Rizoma mirrors, stealth mirrors.
You know I always run those.
Yep. Titanium bolts everywhere. With
Yes, we did the blue titanium hardware.
Lever guards.
Yep.
Domino grips. As of now, maintain just the master with the stock Brembo cylinder, since that's what it came with. Same thing on the clutch side.
This bike already came highly upgraded from Honda, so there wasn't much we had to do. So
we got a top triple from Bonamici here.
Yep.
That gave it a more aggressive look, in my opinion.
Agree.
Carbon from the from the sides, angles, whole frame covers, as you can see here in carbon.
Pretty much anything that's flat black plastic, you guys know it drives me crazy. We switched to carbon. It's just something I got to do.
We got Samco hoses. We got a full Acro header, which we'll talk about a little bit, has been giving us a little bit of an issue.
We got a little issue right now, so we'll come back to that.
SC Project slip. It already comes with the Olin shock, front and rear. We got carbon, again, everywhere. We got a fender eliminator kit, as your kind of, your most common modification around. Same thing, carbon undertail.
Yep, and then coming back to the Light Tech R rear sets, you're gonna see this Light Tech R, you're gonna see it on several of my motorcycles. The reason I like those is I like to have the uniformity across all the bikes, since I have so many, jumping on bikes. It's just good to have that familiar feel. And again, they're completely adjustable. I'm gonna say infinite, but there's a ton of adjustability on there. Whether you're riding in like a street boot, or if you're actually at the track and you actually have your boots on, you got to be able to make, just a good feel, and you got to make those adjustments, because when you're on when you got your full boot, it's just a little bigger. So GP shift, that's something that is pretty much a must.
Got a quick turn gas cap as well.
Yeah.
When you go over, it makes easier access to get it.
Yeah, otherwise you have to use your key. It's a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. We got a 520 conversion on the chain and sprocket set over here as well.
Yes, that's one that I was always going to forget.
Titanium bolts on the sprocket for the sprocket nuts. Light Tech rear set adjuster. Light Tech chain adjusters. That just makes it a little bit easier to adjust the chain.
So for people that don't know, Alex, what does the 520 chain conversion actually do?
Yeah, so a few things with just conversions, period, and sprockets. You could change gearing to either gear taller, longer, shorter. 520 in specific, these bikes come with 525. So the whole purpose of the 520 is less rotating mass, which makes the system a lot lighter. With that, you got to make sure, in my opinion, you do a really good chain. In this case, we did DID ERV7, which is used in all road racing bikes, drag bikes,
in gold, just to add that nice little touch gold hardware.
And again, it's just for the acceleration, help accelerate quicker, both with the sprocket gearing that you change and with the rotating mass. So it helps with that.
Okay, so on this, it's the 30th anniversary. What we're finding is when we put the full exhaust on there, we took the stock system out, we put the full titanium headers on with the SC Project pipe. I usually hand it off to Alex, and then he puts the tune on there. But with this one specifically, we're running into some issues, so I'm gonna let him address that, because he'll be able to speak on it a lot better than me.
Yeah, so we found out the first time we tuned this thing, we did it with the slip-on, because obviously it was what was available the fastest. Yeah. Made some good power, 190s, low 190s, I think. Low
yeah, it was like 192, I think.
Yeah, and it ran, pretty decent. So as everything, we go full system, everything, do an Acura full system headers. Once we did that, there was an issue with partial throttle, stoplights, stop and go.
Anything under 3,000 RPMs it just doesn't want to go. And then once it gets to 4K,
it's like it starts going.
we call it when the VTEC kicks in, it wants to literally throw me off the back like I'm on a bull. Like, it literally, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, so with that was We tried even with O2s, without O2s disabling. We've tried a rapid bike system to try to help with fueling. And what we're slowly starting to figure out is there's a couple people, they're saying that the issue is mostly with the 25s plus in the headers, but the configuration, I believe it drops down from the cylinders different than what OEM does. So it changes the flow and how everything's coming from, you know, top, everything coming, air coming in to coming out. So we're slowly starting to figure out that it might actually be something to do with exhaust versus what's again, tuning wise. And pre 30th anniversary with any of the regular red ones,
no issue.
There is not an issue. I mean, I'm talking a very small hiccup in a 7-8 grand, like a slight hesitation, but nothing to where it becomes, you know, unrideable. The other thing is that it's getting to where it's running so lean at the bottom where it's making the bike really heat up on slower, lower rides. So anything, you know, you got to really just get going on it.
So this is what people don't talk about. There's going to be growing pains with these bikes, especially when you get into more of the special editions. There's going to be little quirks. And honestly, when I brought it to him, we just couldn't figure it out. But as the technology and then people start having them and trying to mod them, and everyone starts having the same problems, everyone starts talking, and then we start working towards resolution. So it's taken a couple years on this one to really get to the bottom of it, but hopefully we're at the light at the end of the tunnel.
We've actually found somebody overseas that apparently has had some really good luck. And like everything, man, you got to kind of just own up to when you have a problem and do it, you know. Getting help, you know, is the best way to figure stuff out. And, you know, we don't always know it all. But hopefully we reached out and we get some info on it. Even if that means somebody else has to tune it to get the bike right, that's perfectly fine with us. You know,
just having the best product,
correct.
and obviously we have all these motorcycles, but this is a special one that kind of a labor of love right now. But I think all in all, in the end, once we get this figured out, the bike is truly special. It's just a joy to ride. But to really get the most out of the bike, we need to keep these titanium headers on there. So you could just put the stock system on it and go that way, or push through the problems. It's a maybe good life lesson to talk about. In life, you're gonna run into some troubles. You're gonna run into some walls. Most people just wanna quit. And for me, I'm not a quitter. I know Alex, not a quitter. So what you do, instead of just tucking your tail and run and give up, no, you just work through it. It may take longer, but the final product is gonna be better. So it's not a no, it's just a not right now, but we'll get it figured out. And in the end, we'll probably make well over 200 horsepower. I'm thinking probably 206, 208.
We did already make over 200 with it when we put the full system. Like I was saying, under wide open throttle,
it's fine.
The bike is fine.
But it's under 4,000,
it's everything under, yeah. So I'm sure we'll be there and better. So hopefully, 206, 208.
Yeah. So Alex made a couple small adjustments with fueling. So I'm gonna ride it home. And then the best feedback is jumping on the bike and actually riding it. We can put it on a dyno, but that says one thing, but real life application is a completely different issue.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to say thanks, Alex, so much for working on my bikes. I know this one's been probably a little bit thorn of your side, but I just want to say I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
And I'll be getting back with you on the ride home to give you kind of my instant feedback on that.
All right, y'all, here we are. It's been several months since I've ridden this. It's been a labor of love getting this thing tuned correctly. So Alex made some small adjustments. Apparently there's a lot of R&D going on right now because with the 30th anniversary with these, there's something weird with the ECU. So everyone's having a big problem getting them tuned. It's really anything under 3,000 RPMs is it's basically dead. But once you get going, it's wonderful. So it makes a ton of power. But he made a couple adjustments on the tune to see where it's at, to at least get it rideable for now until something more long-term comes along. So we're gonna ride it back home. We got a big weekend ahead. So wish me luck. Let's get it. It is the loudest motorcycle that I own by far. By far the loudest. There's that hesitation at the bottom. It's just so tough. And really you find once it gets to temperature, that's where that kind of hesitation that I'm telling you about down low is really noticeable. So while it's still, I mean, it's warmed up now, but once the temperatures go up, it really bogs quite heavily, and we laugh and say that the VTEC kicks in, but it literally wants to throw you off. But the bike is just absolutely beautiful. I've invested heavily in this one. There's that hesitation I was telling you about. It is drastic. Once you get above 4,000 RPMs, it's lovely. It's just coming to traffic lights, it's tough. Shift's amazing. I mean, it really is the perfect motorcycle. It just, man, that down low, even just when you're just trying to rev, it's just not there. There's a hesitation. But all in all, I mean, this thing is, it is the perfect motorcycle. We got the Rizoma mirrors. We got the Bonamici Racing screen protector. Got all the Brembo upgrades. I mean, this bike is special. There's that hesitation. Like I said, once you get going and you're in the RPMs, there's no problem. It's really just your stop. Basically traffic lights. Keep going here. But listen to this thing, it sounds sick. This bike is sick. Absolute game changer. I forgot how much I love this thing. Like I said, I got this on GP shift, so as I upshift or downshift, but you click up with GP, the shifts are instantaneous. You get, I mean, like, it's so good. People always ask, like, which bike's my favorite? This might be it. I'll definitely put this at the track, do track days on this once we get that sorted. I'm really hoping that we can get that figured out here sooner than later. You can hear those shifts. Listen to that. So good. I'm 5'9". A lot of people think it's a very aggressive, seating position, but it's pretty comfortable for me. I mean, my knees are definitely bent. Obviously I have my rear sets on there. I think I have my pegs up and back, maybe slightly higher. But again, it's comfortable for me. And I know that when other people are sat on my bike, it's quite uncomfortable for them, but guess what? I'm setting it up for me. And that's what's good about having that adjustability with having your rear sets. Stock rear sets, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, if you want that custom feel, you want it to where, like, when you're in the most comfortable position that's best for you, so that when you're in a tough position, you're fully relaxed. The less amount of tension on the handlebars, the less amount of weight you have on your handlebars. It helps. Aside from that low RPM fueling issue with the tune, I don't even, like I said, we don't know what it is exactly. But this bike is an absolute dream. I haven't ridden it in about 6 months. It's almost like having a new bike again. It's like I forgot. It's so good. The shifts are instantaneous. No hesitation at all. Up or down. I'll hard shift it into first real quick. Listen. No hesitation, no tire skip, no jolt, no jerk, nothing. This thing's perfect. Long as I keep the RPMs above 4,000. Yeah, see, there's a little more hesitation around 5,000. So it just does not like, basically this bike doesn't want to go slow. I get it. It's the weirdest thing though when you want to twist the throttle and nothing happens. It's bizarre. Like right there. It just doesn't want to go. And then it'll kick in and want to throw you off the back. There's a couple times where I had to squeeze my legs to hold on or I would have been a goner. Kind of like when the power band kicks in on a 2-stroke dirt bike. There's usually a cop sitting up here, so try not to speed. I just realized that when we dropped this, I didn't have my license plate. So, don't love that. So all in all, on the ride home, it was to be as expected, like I was saying with kind of that down low RPM thing. But once you get riding, this really is a really perfect machine. Honda really, they've outdone themselves with these Fireblades. I mean, they shift so good up and down. The technology in these with all the electronics and all the adjustability, all the rider aids, I mean, it just makes it so easy and so enjoyable to ride. You know, my first bike was in 2004, so there were no rider aids. There was no, ABS, things like that. You know, for the most part, I turned a lot of that stuff off now. But you may be a rider, jumping from a 600 to a 1000cc bike, with the wheelie control and all of the, stabilization, and it's just a lot of those things are for safety. The technology is there, obviously want to use it. But I haven't ridden this bike in 6 months, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to get on it for a few minutes here during the middle of the day. So I'll leave it at that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next time.